Hey guys. Um, I don't know. This is the first time that I've showed my face in actually like most of these last videos. I'm kind of using this channel just to like tell my life story. Um, in certain ways. Uh, I feel really good right now. I've like cut back on my drinking a whole lot. I don't know. I'm just gonna fucking put it out there. Like, I have a drinking problem, and right now I feel pretty good because I've literally cut it back like amazingly. Um, but I wanted to use this channel here recently. For some reason, I just kind of I want to do kind of like storytelling for anyone who wants to hear a story. Sorry, my shirt's open. I'm in my undies. Oh no, oh god. But yeah, I don't have to be so strict on shaving and stuff. It's kind of weird. I got a mustache and all this jazz going on. Where I work at Subway now. I wanted to tell a story tonight about mental illness and um Eastern State. My time in Eastern State. And it's not going to be a negative horrible. I mean, it might make you cry. There's bad parts and good parts, but I like to look at life with comedy. I figure there's a phrase, it's better to laugh than to cry. So, I was drunk as a skunk one night. I had just lost my job, and then I'd got a job at a liquor store. I pretty much here, let me sum it up real quick. I bartended for 7 years. I lost a job bartending at the job that I was for 6 years, or for 6 and something years, and I'm an alcoholic. So I bartended for that job, and then lost it, and then got another job at a liquor store, which actually it was a pretty cool job. I ain't gonna lie, because I was getting off of alcohol, kind of. I was up and down, but like it was nice because it was like literally 2 seconds away. It took me like 5 minutes to go to work. That's how close it is by car, like literally 5 minutes. And it was nice too because I could just roll out of bed. I didn't have to wear a uniform, didn't have to brush my hair, nothing. I would just roll out of bed, work, and I was still coping with how I had lost my job that I had had previous to that for 6 years. So I don't know, like I was drinking heavily, but trying to quit at the same time. And I had a mental break, and pretty much I dropped my phone, so my phone was calling people randomly. And I ended up talking to my brother, my eldest. I won't speak his name, but I was just saying batshit crazy stuff about how there was a demon inside of me. His name was like Zarathos or something. Pretty much like saying, uh, we're like the cops banged on the door and they said, "This is Wake," or they said, "This is Danville," or yeah, I already gave away my location. It doesn't matter. But they were saying, "Danville police, Danville police." So you can't come in without a warrant because I do know my constitutional rights. So I do have to say that. I am smart about um, like a constitutional government law. Sorry if I stutter a lot. Um, but yeah. Anyways, um, so they bang on the door. I said, "You can't come in without a warrant." And here I am holding a machete. I still had the door closed, and I opened up the door, and um, they said, "Well, can we come in?" I said, "Nope, not without a warrant." You know. And they said, "Well, do you feel like harming anyone else or yourself?" I said, "No." I said, and I'm screaming, by the way, so like I'm talking mellow, obviously, right now. But at the time, I was acting a fucking insane maniac, and I told them, no, I don't feel like harming myself or anyone else, but I wouldn't mind to die if it happened. And that's what got me. So they handcuffed me. I got driven to a hospital. And my dumbass, where I'm in this fucking insane state, like, they pretty much, like, handcuffed me to a gurney. And I'm just, like, screaming and yelling and acting belligerent. And I tried to break out, like using like I was just trying to figure out, like I was like handcuffed to the gurney, like trying to figure out how to get out. And then I kept screaming, and they said, you know, there's other people on this ward. I said, I don't give a fuck. You all got me handcuffed. You all could at least give me a book to read. That was what I said. And then, so the cop came in and gave me a book. And I was just like reading it and just tearing the pages out. And then, like, there was like a whole room of nurses around me. And this is embarrassing for me, but honestly, it's good comedy. There was a whole room of nurses around me, and she said, one of them was telling me something I can't remember, and I called her dude. And the cop said, "You will not call her dude. You'll call her ma'am." I said, "Dude, I'm from Florida and I'm a 90s kid. Sorry, man." "Don't call me man. You call me sir." I was like, oh my God. It was just, it's funny because it's sad, but it's funny. So anyways, I kept like trying to break out of these handcuffs, like doing some contortionism or whatever, some circus freak act, trying to get a escape. So then finally, like, I did something that pissed him off. I can't remember because I was so fucked up. The nurse came in with a shot, and they pretty much injected me to the neck. And I have a phobia with needles. I freaking hate needles. Like, you can slash my arm off, and I would rather that than a needle. Something about needles and broken fingernails. I don't know. It freaks me out. Um, but yeah, so she came in and like shot me up with a needle in the neck. My wife would have to tell you what drug they used. But so yeah, they did that. And by the way, I'm off tomorrow. And where I've been drinking less, I'm actually more coherent, and I think I look pretty good and sound pretty good. But I like being coherent. It's nice. I haven't been coherent in a while. But what was I saying? Something about, yeah. She put the needle in my neck, and dude, I went out in like 2 fucking seconds, man. I was just, please don't do it. Next thing I know, I wake up the next morning, and my wife's sitting there in a chair next to me. She's like, "Did you have a good nap?" It was like, holy shit, that was the best fucking sleep I have ever had in my fucking life. In my entire life. I am 27 years old. That is the best sleep I have ever had in my fucking life. It was so good of a sleep that I woke up and they had apparently stripped my bottom half naked. Another thing too though, I do have to say this about hospitals. Not cool. Like, it was an open window in an open hallway, and like, I was straight up, had my asshole, my fucking balls hanging out, my fucking dick hanging out. And like, it wasn't like a psycho ward area. I wasn't on like the fourth floor or nothing. It was legit like, and I had windows, like literally windows probably 10 feet across. Not windows, but like full blown glass screens, man. Like sliding glass doors. But it was like 10 foot across. And here I am, spread eagle, like this. My fucking, and I don't have I got a white boy butt, you know? So like, all I have to do is lay on my back. I have literally no freaking ass whatsoever. It's like bone and little bit of flesh, and then straight up my butthole showing. So, so I'm like, y'all could have at least like drawn a curtain or something. Like, that's what I woke up to. I was looking and I'm like, and I just see people going back and forth, and I'm like, they're just straight up looking at my asshole. Like, I understand you gotta take my pants off and search them and shit, but goddamn, dude, my body's sacred. That's my temple, dude. You know? So anyways, they unhandcuffed me from the gurney. And I got to talk to my wife, and I got to hug her and kiss her, and we both cried for a little bit, and they said they're putting you in Eastern State, Kentucky, the mental health hospital. I said, all right. And they said, it's court ordered. And I said, okay, that's fine. So I went there. Well, before that, like, the cop that I had was cool as fucking hell, man. Like, he's like, I gotta escort you out of the hospital. I said, okay. And my wife had bought a pack of cigarettes. And I said, I have one thing that I want to do. And he said, what's that? I said, I already know I'm going to be stuck in this place for fucking ever, man. I said, can I have one cigarette before I go? And he had like another cop with him. And that other cop was like, well, the one that I asked, he was like, yeah, I'm cool with it. I was like, cool. So, like, he's like, I gotta search you. You know, well, first of all, they didn't even give me fucking pants at first. I literally had to ask the cop, can I get some fucking trousers up in here? So they gave me some hospital pants. I still have them to this day. They actually let me keep them. I'll have to pull them out and show them one day. I was like, cause what do you guys want to do? Like, put me out on a gown or something? Like, I'm not that fucking crazy. I know I'm crazy, but I'm not that crazy. Like, and he's like, okay, we'll get you pants. So they got me pants, and I walked outside, and they're like, we gotta search you and handcuff you, and I automatically started putting my hands behind my back. I was compliant as hell. And he's like, you ain't gotta do all that, and I thought that was sweet of him. I wish I remembered his name, because I would give him a little shout out on how he handled the situation. And he's like, we do have to handcuff you in the front, though. And I was like, that's cool. So he handcuffed me in the front. And I was like, I have one request. I said, at least let me give my wife a hug and a kiss. And I don't care if you're watching or whatever. I'll make out with her in front of you for a couple seconds. Like, I don't know how long I'm going to be stuck in this mental hospital. And I said, I want a cigarette. That's it. And my wife, she went and fetched a cigarette. She had bought a pack of cigarettes, and she gave me a cigarette. And so I'm here smoking a cigarette, like, like this. I don't know. I know it's going to show up sideways, but I'm just like, and I love it too because he had another cop with him, and the other cop's like, well, he can't smoke on hospital grounds. And the dude, the cop, okay, cop number one was the one that was cool. Cop number two, I don't fucking know. The cop number two says, cop number one was the one that handcuffed me, the cool cop that I was talking about. Cop number two, he was like, well, he can't smoke on hospital grounds. And cop number one was just like, he literally looked at him and said, I don't give a fuck. And I thought it was fucking great. I looked at him and I laughed. I was like, thank you. Somebody who can let someone have one last cigarette before they get locked into a place. So then, I get put into the back of cop number one's car. Cop number two is out of the story at this point. I get put into the back of his car, and he was driving me up there. He said, I'm going to make this real quick. And me and him was honestly like, he didn't have the radio on or anything, and me and him was just like having normal, casual talk. He said, I'm going to make this as quick as could be, and we talked about each other's lives and our families, and like we drove past the steakhouse. He's like, you need to take your wife there one day, you know? And, like we just had, he was cool as fuck, man. And I told him, I was like, man, the older I've gotten, back when I was younger, I talked so much shit about cops. And like I said, the older I've gotten, I realize like I don't believe in this whole blue lives matter, blue lives matter, black lives matter. And I'm sorry, I don't care. You can hit me up in the comments if you're an SJW or whatever. All lives matter, man. And I told him, I said, I respect what you do because, like, yeah, like you're dodging bullets every day. You getting thrown up crazy. You get thrown into crazy situations. Like, he was just cool as fuck. Like, he was suggesting restaurants to take my wife out to, and I started detoxing on the way there, and I was like, dude, I'm gonna puke, and he's like, well, hang on. Um, he's like, really? You're that bad off of an alcoholic? And I'm like, yeah, pretty much, you know. And he's like, well, hang on, I'll pull over. And I was like, well, you hang on. I was like, and he said, do you want me to roll the window down? I was like, that's perfectly fine. I said, some fresh air would be nice. But he was real cool. And then we got to Eastern State. And Eastern State looks crazy. It looks like, honestly, like Jurassic Park from the outside looking in. Like, there's crazy looking gates. There's no barbed wire or nothing, but it's super fucking high. Like, I'm talking like 50-foot tall Jurassic Park gates. And so we were checking in, and they have like a front desk lady come out and talk with the officer. And I loved it, man. This officer was like, he pointed at me and he said, this one here, he's okay. You know, don't keep him too long. Don't fuck with him. He's cool. And I shook his hand and I was like, I appreciate it, man. Thanks for giving them a heads up that I'm crazy, but I'm not that fucking crazy. And so I got sat in the lobby, was drinking a glass of water. They finally unhandcuffed me. They searched me, and then they were like, well, we gotta take your jewelry. And I said, really? All I have is like rings, you know? And I was like, at least they took, I said, you can have all my rings. I said, but at least let me keep my wedding ring. And I said, that's where I put my foot down. At least let me keep my wedding ring. And they were going to take my shoes, but where I was wearing slip-ons, they're like, okay, you can wear those. But I was, and I looked at her and I said, man, seriously, that's the only request that I have. Don't take my fucking wedding ring. And she's like, okay, that's cool. So I got a glass of water and I was sitting there while I was getting checked in. And I said, I gotta go pee. This is another funny part of the story. So I said, I gotta go pee. So here I am in this like crazy state of mind. I go to the bathroom and I'm like searching the bathroom for cameras and shit. I couldn't find them. I'm sure they were there, like hidden cameras, but so I like stand up on the toilet and I had long nails because I hadn't cut them for a little bit. I start unscrewing the freaking screws in to try to get out of into the air vent. It was like Mission Impossible 1. Like I was unscrewing it with my fingernail trying to crawl through so I could escape. And like I couldn't do it. So I was like, fuck it, man. So I went back out and then they put me in a room and or they put me on an elevator, which elevators freak me out. I don't like the feeling of elevators. I'm weird about elevators. But so I get to pretty much this doctor, and when you get locked up in a mental home, they make you strip naked, and I'm real weird about my body. I'm not Christian or anything, but I do like that phrase that your body is your temple. But I mean I get it too because they have to like check you for like if you're gonna abuse yourself or like for lawsuit reasons. So they strip you naked, and this is the first time that like me and another guy are in a room, and we're both grown adults, and he's literally taking pictures of my fucking asshole, my fucking dick, my balls, and I had to make fun of him. I said, uh, "Hey man, it's kind of cold in here. I'm a grower, not a shower," because it was all shriveled up, and then pretty much after that humiliating process, they put you in this room. It's like a halfway kind of room. It's not. It's like isolation, but it's not. So the first room that I went to, they put you in like this room with like padded furniture, and they put me in there with another guy, and he was fast asleep, but he had dropped his hat. So I walked over, and I picked his hat up, and I just like placed it on him, and he looked up at me and he nodded, and I nodded. I said, I was just picking your hat up, man. And he's like, we're cool. And then I just went over and started taking a nap for a little bit. And then they put me in the outside room. They took me and him both into the other outside room. It's hard to describe verbally without you seeing it. And pretty much they put you in front of a glass window. So like I sat there with him for a while, and they had gave me like 2 juice boxes, and I only drank they gave me 3 juice boxes, and I only drank 2 of them. And he was like dying of thirst. It's like, man, fuck, I wish I had something to drink. And I just took the juice box and I was just like, here. And he looked at me and was like, what? So take mine, I'm not gonna drink it. And he just fucking chugged that thing. And I was like, that's cool. And then they brought in this other broad. She had a hospital gown. And I ain't gonna lie, she had a good looking body. Because she was fucking butt naked. I mean, that gown was just flowing out. She was fucking smoking. But, she was acting batshit. So, like, they put her in the room that me and that other guy were in until we got moved into the outside room. And she was going on and on. I don't know what the fuck she was on. But like she was going on and on and on, just fucking slamming herself against the door, like literally full blown body running full blast into the door over and over and over and over again, stripping naked. And